December, and today is a Friday. Tugana weekend.
Yeah.
After this weekend,
next week is like a chiller week
You
for almost
understand?
everybody. Yeah, because it's leading into Christmas. It's the last week before Christmas. So yeah.
So
How are
is
you
December?
feeling Christmas?
I have not yet felt
I've
it.
seen you with a
because-
Christmas thing on your head and you say you not felt it.
Auntie, okay, I'm just wearing this, but I don't have money, and, and it only makes sense
Yeah,
when you have money. Yes,
True story, true story.
How is your morning, Pamela?
It's good. It's good. I'm looking forward to Christmas.
Hey.
Actually, Galaxy has made me feel Christmas. The Christmas tree, you know, the microphones are decorated. The hearts, Christmas hearts here.
Yeah.
Alex should even put on one while he's playing today.
Mufero, you now. So what is happening in the country, Pamela?
Well, let's start off with the presidential schedule for today. Frank Bulira is supposed to be in Kayunga district, Mugisha Muntu, Ginger and Ginger City, Robert Chagulanyi, Kasese district, Kasibante, Zombo and Pakwach. Mubarak Munyagwa is going to be in Adjumani. Mabidi is going to be Mitoma district. Yeah, today President Yoweri Museveni is resting. Actually, as we speak now, he's supposed to join congregants who are celebrating the end of year national Thanksgiving service. So it's his resting day, but of course he's busy. He's going to have a national Thanksgiving service. Yesterday he did speak very important issues. Actually, I don't know if today they're going to be put into practice because he was in Bulisa district and he was speaking about the fisheries protection unit returning some of the confiscated items for the fishers or fishermen, because it's a rich area in fishing. They do fish from Lake Victoria. So he was saying today
they should return
They
them.
should return them because he has heard about corrupt soldiers who seize people's items. For instance, the fishing gear. He said for the fishing gear, if it is not legitimate, if it is not worthy of fishing and on the lake, it should not be given back to them.
Yes.
Otherwise, there are people's boats that have been confiscated. There are people's motorcycles. I actually giving a story of a boy who reported that his motorcycle was taken and by soldiers and it has never been returned. So there are allegations. Some of these soldiers, when they take this gear, the motorcycles, the boats, they sell them and people can't go back and claim for them. Yeah, so he's saying today. Now the question is it going to be effective?
I know.
If I wake up today as a person whose border was confiscated like a year or 2 years ago, when I go where Ntandikirawa, Ngendawa, I don't know, maybe there should have been a proper procedure of maybe through the RDC of the district who would maybe write at least ask all those who are aggrieved to go and maybe register, then they find a formal way of complaining. But if I get up today myself and I go to which soldier,
I know,
or all of that,
you can't forget someone who took your things, by the way.
But you must know their name.
Auntie Government, you can't forget.
Yeah, exactly.
But the only issue is the one that you've talked about. How do you go to Senti Bananga? I want my motorcycle. The president said you should give us back. You should give us our things back. You know, I feel like he should have at least said maybe the RDC should work on it. But sometimes Olusa abantu ba allocating to do things they don't do them. You know. Yeah. So katate ye waba yachogedde n'avaawo. It's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard.
Naddala nga tewali muntu awo mediating between the soldiers.
And there's another thing, floor of the paperwork, because it's a very good thing the president has said. But then again, the paperwork, someone will say, give me evidence to show that this boat is yours, that this fishing gear is yours. Show me that this motorcycle is yours. Some of them they had gotten the bicycle, but it was on loan, and they were still paying, so they didn't have the proper paperwork.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for them.
They took your boat, Pam.
Yeah.
But now maybe you shifted, you went somewhere else. But they took my boat. Exactly. It was your boat.
Exactly. And somebody, I mean,
oh God.
So you supervise, make sure they get back their motorcycles, and if they were sold by our soldiers, we go for who sold those motorcycles. They get back their engines and the boats. But the fishing gear, if it was the wrong one, we want to see it. You can't give it back if it is the bad fishing gear, the one which catches the nyana. But they should also show it to you and have it recorded properly. But for the corrupt soldiers, because I was in Toroko, and the boy there told me that soldiers took his 2 motorcycles because he was transporting immature fish without knowing it. The soldiers who captured the 2 motorcycles and the fish took the fish and took the motorcycles. When he went to check where the motorcycles were there, they said, please, if you want to survive, go back. Don't ask about the motorcycles. So I hear that even here they have confiscated people's motorcycles, especially motorcycles. I direct that now those motorcycles are given back to their owners tomorrow.
I hope they get their things back, Bambi.
Maybe they should find a local way of themselves gathering together as fishermen. If they have an association, they write down their details formally, go to the RDC and maybe have his backing to help them get those things.
Okay.
Yeah, well, speaking of soldiers, Uganda Post Defense Forces is doing community outreach programs ahead of the Tarehe Sita celebrations that happen in February, and it's going to be in Chigezi sub-region. Yesterday, we saw the Deputy Chief of Defense, Intelligence and Security, Brigadier General Abdul Rugamayo, talking about the peace and security, and he was mentioning it as one of the gains that has been gotten by Uganda for the past 40 years, and he's saying, please don't take it for granted. He was saying 40 years of freedom, Ugandans must be responsible, exercise it responsibly, because if it runs away today, trouble for you. He was giving examples of Congo here, where there are over 80 million people, the insurgency there, and we have about 600,000 refugees here in Uganda. We're helping our neighbors in South Sudan. He was saying that 14 years, it's an oil-rich, good economy, but we have 1 million refugees here from, Sudan, South Sudan. He gave examples of Chad and Sudan, saying these were countries that were rich and had very industrializing countries, but now they are out of peace. And he was saying Uganda is a country that we should not take for granted. Now, we link that to the Uganda Human Rights Week. On December 10th, Uganda joined the rest of the world to celebrate the International Human Rights Day. And, of course, we've seen the Human Rights Commission coming out to condemn issues of and protests, tear gas being fired at people, some of them being treated unfairly. And we took to the streets to ask some of our Mazinye about what they think is Uganda as a country exercising basic human rights for you and me.
Uganda eddembe ly'obuntu gavumenti yaffe ndaba nti tekifuddeeko bwe tulaba nti n'ebibiina ebivuganya nabyo tebifunye bulungi ddembe lyabyo. Sirabawo ngeri yonna gavumenti gyetuyambyemu.
Kozi ba taxi eddembe tulina ddembe. Abaserikale zonna ezitukola zonna ssente bazitujjamu aba traffic. Omusajja oleeta abasaabazi ba lukumi zonna bazaagala.
Eddembe ly'obuntu buli kuba tolina bw'oyinza kugamba nti ddungi oba bbi, ng'abantu olaba beeyongera batambula balya banywa bavuga amamotoka noga nti ate eddembe bbi.
Uganda mu nkola nga we tekyalina demokrasi, tuyitira mu kunyigizibwa kungi nnyo. Omuntu yandisaanye okwatibwako oyo amanya amateeka, naye omuntu nga tamenye mateeka yandisaanye ate tulugunyizibwa. Olw'ensonga tuwerekera pulezidenti waffe Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu batukuba migo tiyagaasi, mulimu abalifunyeemu naye abasinga obungi tunyigiriziddwa nnyo.
Abavubuka be bantu boogenda osinga okusanga nga ekyamazima boogera nnyo ku butaba na ddembe mu ggwanga lyaffe. So okusinziira nze nga bwe ndaba, bw'oba tozunze kiro kwezi essaawa 9 essaawa 10 tebagenda kukukwata. Ne bw'oba ozitambudde naye ng'olina ndagamuntu yo. So tusazise ndagamuntu tugoberera amateeka.
Okuggyako ng'olumbaganya bali mu kukola gwe n'ogenda.
Tulina nga ffe abatuuze tolina buzibu eddembe likuggwerako ng'olumbaganye katugeze nga poliisi okanuza amayinja olimbina ebyobululu kati awo obuzibu bwakwatira ne bakukomerera eyo oba munnamawulire munakisi bijja okutta enkyabo ne bakuba mu kibooko naye nga ffe ng'abatuuze ffe tulina buzibu fe abakakamu ibala kukakkana bannaye ebyaddala kuba teri wali mirembe neri wali lina eddembe.
I love that everyone has an idea of his own, ngata basing identity. Oh, this one and this one and this one. They're all speaking from their own experiences. Kubanga olira waliwo gwe mpulidde agamba nti oba tobalumbye, they will not harm you.
Exactly.
And there is another one who said obalumba and then they harm you. So kati buli omu asinzira ku experience to talk about human rights, and you can't era wajja kubaayo awakana agambe banange nze nali sirina kye mbakoze naye ne bajja ne bankuba.
Exactly.
That's their own experience again. Yeah.
True. Well, there was a story that went around yesterday of a father who defiled his two daughters. One is 14 and the other is 12 years old. He impregnated a 12-year-old girl. He's currently in police custody. He's called Sentamo Edirisa. He took advantage of these step-kids while the mother was not around. That was between June and October this very year. The case was just reported in December early this week. Now, locals are saying they should check his mental status because there's no way that a father in his right thinking mind, even if he's a stepdad, would go
and defile such young kids.
Yes, exactly. Those two kids in Wakiso district. Yeah. The mother was aware. She used to go to the market. The man would defile these girls. And I think they kept quiet until the signs of pregnancy started to show in the daughter. So the question is it probably true that people are mentally derailed or ill when they do such things? Or it's his spirits? Or maybe they go to the witch doctor and the witch doctor tells them
is defiling your child.
Is it spiritual? Is it just...
You know, that's why... That's one of the reasons as to why maybe government doesn't give us guns. Because I would have that man. Because really, what's that? It's very sad. Future Yabano just say you can imagine at 12 you're pregnant.
14 years.
14 mania. And you're pregnant.
A teenager, yeah.
Yes. And the other young
girl, like the trauma she has to face all those years.
I know. Katiba neighbor already baba bimani. Then you go at school, they make fun of you. Pamela, government yakola byo butatu wa muntu.
No, if you're licensed, you can you
cannot just shoot anybody.
Proper process and obtain a gun. However, you don't just
whoever you find.
Exactly, you can't just shoot
it. That's the issue.
So the only payback is a shooting.
Yes.
Me, I feel like that's not enough to cater for a man who has destroyed the whole future of a young.
Finger one by one.
Exactly, like you stay alive and be tortured as well. Because this kid's life is going to be tortured forever. First, if they have not gotten a disease. Secondly, the trauma for life. Third, their father having to mother a child at a very young age, even if they have a chance to go back to school. You don't take that away from her. But also, I think parents should be very cautious. Those gone are the days when you'd say, I trust you with Uncle Gundi.
But these
or
days,
Auntie Gundi, yes, exactly.
Even aunties are not trusted anymore.
With boys. You can't.
Hello, guys.
The mid-morning to Corner with Flora Shaw, 100.2 Galaxy FM.
Zina.